All right, so for this last part, we have a pulse check. A pulse check is something we do every month, and this is just a quick look at some retro gaming prices. I have three on my list. I'm probably not going to go through all three. In fact, I'm going to let Cog pick mine when we get to it. But let's start with Cogs. So, Cog wanted to just talk about some old school pricing. This isn't pricing today, but what he had to go through back in the day importing some stuff. So, Cog, take it away.
Yeah, man, we talked about it. It's just, again, Wes mentioned it, New York City specifically was a home of the import scene and be able to get things potentially a year before American release. So you would have, for example, the Super Famicom would be out a year before the Super NES would even be released in the States. So you start to see these titles and, being big arcade kids, we just couldn't wait. And once we found out the import scene, we couldn't wait. We got to have these games now. If they're available now, or how much we got to spend, or how much does it cost to get, a converter for allow me to play Famicom games on, Super Nintendo and vice versa. So yeah, when Street Fighter was all the rage. Like Street Fighter 2 was one of the biggest fighting games in the history of gaming. And who was going to do that port, right? How's that port going to land? And I remember learning about the Famicom version, and it was out. I remember going down to Penguin Village and spending about for the converter. I'm trying to think. It's probably about 70, 60 by itself, if I remember Wes. But then in conjunction, the cartridge itself. So this was running about $150. About total. If I can remember, it was about that range. And
Yeah,
it
I
was
think the converter, from what I remember, because the game itself was like 100 and 120 bucks,
yes.
and then the converter I think was like maybe 30 bucks.
30. Yeah, good call out. Good call out.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I was just like, we have to have it. This is Street Fighter. And it was such a big deal. At the time I'm in high school, and a friend of mine didn't believe that I had it. He was like, Lodge, you don't have Street Fighter. You're lying. I'm like, bro, I have it. You just gotta know where to go as far as the import because he wasn't familiar. So it was my cousin who had like a community center thing he was running, and he had it similar to. I was like, yo, I'm gonna give you stuff, bring it there. It's not too far from high school. I want you to play it so I will just bring somebody over because they don't believe us that we have it. And his mouth dropped. Oh, you can, what I'm saying? He was like, hold no, he has it. Like he could not believe we had it. Again, this is before American release. So the cool thing about it is just again the lengths we would go to get video games. How much people talk about $80 games now? How much we suffered was just to get things early or to play things on the import. Like it was a huge deal, and I'll be the first to admit the other price check I probably shouldn't put on here was how much I paid for PlayStation 2 before release. I paid $1,000.
You imported the system?
I imported the entire PlayStation 2. But you know why? Because of my love for Tekken. They had Tekken Tag Tournament at launch.
It was a great fighting game.
Oh my God. I was like, look at the mouths moving, look at the animation, the hair. I was like, I'm not waiting a year. How much does the import PlayStation cost now?
Cog's getting like second
One.
job, like I'll figure it out.
Oh, bro, I figured it out. I
where did
figured it out.
where did you get your PlayStation 2? Because I imported it too, and I don't remember paying that much.
It was about $1,000. I think if I had to guess, I'm gonna say it was down around Penguin Village and them those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, they got us. They got us good. Oh man, we saved up. It was ridiculous. I was just like, okay, I'm in. It is what it is. But yeah, I think the two most expensive I've paid for a console was 3DO.
Oh,
That was about 700, if I had to guess.
damn.
3DO was not cheap. I remember that. And then yeah, PS2 about a year early with, and maybe the 1,000 incorporated to a couple of games, but it was about a
Okay.
grand. And Tekken Tag Tournament was part of it. I remember that for sure. I sold my soul for. That's what I knew. No one could tell me I didn't love Tekken. That game made me move mountains, heaven and earth to get it.
I mean, still, it sounds like paying $1,000 for a PS2 was way better than spending $700 on 3DO.
Yes. But look, I got fun memories. That I did a 3DO retrospective show with a couple guys, and it's a weird system. It's a weird system, but it was one of those that had a lot of potential, a lot of marketing bids, and then I fell for the trap of EA and Trip Hawkins, and they had the inside baseball support. 32-bit era, they did pioneer a lot of things graphically, but it was just very short lived and way too expensive.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother chapter with 3DO. But jeez, I fell for the marketing buzz.
All right, Wes. So now it's your turn. You got the low pick this week. What are you gonna go with?
I picked like an oddball game, but I'd love it. I'd love playing it. It was originally on the Dreamcast, and I picked Space Channel 5. It was a music-based rhythm game where you had to push buttons and directionals in time with the music. And you had the main character, Ooh La La, who was great. Uh, and from what I hear, she was loosely based off of Lady Keir from Delight.
Oh, I remember the like Groove is in the heart.
Groove is in the heart.
Groove is in the heart. You know what's funny? I'm looking at the box on Hawaii because I pulled it up while you were talking, and I'm like, I could totally see that.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally see D-Light from this. Yeah. Good call out.
Yeah, man. So it was. I love Space Channel 5. Love Space Channel 5. It's relatively cheap. For Dreamcast, you can get a loose, just a CD for $25. A complete in box, you're looking at $35, and a sealed one is 45. So for the Dreamcast, Space Channel 5, a lot of fun, dirt cheap. They did a second one that never saw the light of day in America on the Dreamcast, but the second one included Michael Jackson. So, and I think there was some licensing agreements that they couldn't release it at the time. But Michael Jackson shows up in the second one.
Wow.
Same type of gameplay.
Wow.
And then so you didn't hear anything more from Space Channel 5 until PS2, where they came out with the special edition, which came with both 1 and 2, and 2 for the first time in America, released on PS2.
Wow.
Yeah, Space Channel 5, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love
That's
it.
huge. I didn't know Michael Jackson's involvement. That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because we forget Michael Jackson was a huge Sega fan. We forgot about Michael Jackson
Moonwalker.
and all that stuff. Michael Jackson was a big Sega kid. Like he loved Sega. I remember he would work with them specifically. And yeah, and again, when we talked about marketing campaigns during Genesis era and stuff like that, he was also part of the marketing blitz where Michael Jackson's Moonwalker was a big deal.
Yeah, because Moonwalker was an arcade game.
It was an arcade game.
It was an arcade game.
Forgot about that.
I just went to SoCal Gaming Expo. That was one of the games I was looking for. Spoiler for a future video when I go through my pickups. I did not get it. I found one copy. It was like $175. So even if I got the guide down, it would have probably been like $150. And $150 is like the going rate. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait. Maybe I'll get a better deal somewhere else because I got deals that entire time. I wasn't about to pay $150 full price for MJ.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Moonwalker has always been an expensive game on the Genesis. It's just even on the Master System, it's expensive, but it consistently keeps its price, keeps its value.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did they ever confirm that Michael Jackson did music for Sonic 3? Because that's been a rumor for a long time. Like he helped work on the soundtrack, and that's why there's so many difficulties porting the original version of Sonic 3.
I never heard that.
I actually did hear the rumor. I don't know how true it is, but I heard someone say something like that before. And I want again. It is interesting because his ties to Sega ran deep. People don't realize how much it ran. So I'm curious if he did. There's a part of me that could see it, him saying, yeah, I'll create something, kind of thing. Then, they never really got the licenses and the political red tape done. And, it's kind of been sitting in licensing limbo. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's true. I'd say that. I'll just leave it at that.
They re-released the game, but the music has changed. So it has to be something with the music. And him being involved would make a lot of sense where whoever has the rights to his music now
have the rights to the estate.
Not allowing it to happen or wanting too much money to re-release it.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean with that too, because generally when you see stuff like that I've learned with back compatibility and other stuff, or when people try to reimagine stuff, licensing is always a big issue with trying to get that stuff back into pure form.
Well, that's why Forza keeps shutting down, man. The cars, they have to license the cars. It's like, well, yeah, you want old versions of Forza? Well, they have to renew the license. Like, who's playing Forza 2?
Exactly.
Probably not many people.
Exactly.
Before we go on to Matt's high pick, we're talking about Michael Jackson, and I just can't. It just popped into my head, how he did show up in Ready to Rumble 2.
Was
Oh
he in Ready
yes,
to Rumble
I
too?
forgot about
Yes, he
that.
was.
I forget, bro. I'm telling you, the inklings of Michael Jackson and Sega is crazy. Like, it's so wild how much of an influence he had. It was, but there was he made sure he kept like a lot of stuff subtle outside of his own game, but a lot of stuff he did kept subtle. I forgot
Mhm.
about that too. That's a good call
Yes,
out.
he was. Now you got to go play it, man.
Was he a special character? Like you could fight him, or like what was he?
He was. I think you could pick him at some point, but yeah, he was a fighter in Ready to Rumble too.
That's crazy. I don't think I have that one. I have to go back and check.
That was a good game. That
That
was
was
a
a
good
great
game for
game.
good launch game.
All right, so for the high pick, I'm gonna let Cog choose one of these.
All right, what you got?
I got two different kinds of fighting games, but I got Power Stone with the twist. There's a little twist to Power Stone, or Project Justice. Which one do you want me to pick?
Hmm. Go with Power Stone.
So the Power Stone with the twist is this: the Sega All Star version is worth more, significantly more.
Wow.
So that's what I'm going to talk about. So Power Stone, the Sega All Star variant, a loose copy is $200.
Damn.
Mm.
A complete in box copy, also $200,
Okay.
and then a sealed copy is $380. So
Mm.
that was something that was surprising to me when I was checking out different Sega games to pick. And then if we look at the non Sega All Star versions, right? So loose was 200. Now with the regular version, it's 5250.
Mm.
Complete in box is 8064, so it's worth twice as much complete in box if you have the All Star version.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sealed version is 226, so over $100 less for the sealed version with the
Oh
regular
wow.
variant.
Wow. Wow. Crazy times right now.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
is.
it had to be the print run, right? That's the
Yeah.
only thing I could think of. The All Star version had a lower print run.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt, you talked about Project Justice. I mean, Project Justice is one that's another one that consistently kind of keeps its value.
It's dropped though because I have a copy, and
Mm-hmm.
Wes and I we talk about prices a lot with our collections. We have pretty big collections, and we just watched our values tumble ever since the pandemic. Like the pandemic
Oh
shot everything up really high, and it's been
yeah.
like declining. And Project Justice was like
Mm.
a complete in box copy was like $300 at one point. It's
Mm.
it's not anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, like now it's like what 167, like
Mm.
170,
Yep,
Gotcha.
and that could be because the reissue of what is it, a Capcom Fighting Collection.
that's a great call out, Wes. They did reissue a
So,
lot of these fighting games, and that's one of them that they did reissue. So that could
mm-hmm.
also be affecting its price.
Yep, I think Power
Gotcha.
Stone is on there too.
Wow.
Yeah, Power Stone is. You're right. You're
Yep,
absolutely right.
yep. So, yeah, man, video game prices is not what it used to be, which is a
Yeah.
good or bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
That's
means my
good.
collection gets small, my collection value gets smaller, but
I know.
you
And then we got
know,
digital covered, and it's just like it's so much. Oh, so much with this right now.
Oh, you're about to open up a can of worms talking about digital around here, sir. You're
I
about
know. I know. I know. I'm careful. I'm gonna be careful. We keep it moving. I won't. I won't say anything else.
All right, guys. So I just want to thank Lord Cognito. Thank you so much for coming on today. Again, if people want to follow your stuff, I know you got a lot of stuff going on. Where can they do so?
So again, first of all, gentlemen, thank you for this. This was a lot of fun. I'm actually sometimes it's work when things don't work out initially what we want, and then it comes together at the right time. I felt this is the right time, And this was an amazing show. I love what you guys doing. It's taking me back to memory lane. This was fun. So those who know me, obviously I'm at Lord Cognito on X/Twitter, or same thing on Blue Sky, wherever social medias you can find me. I'm at Lord Cognito. Also, Iron Lords podcast on YouTube. And every Sunday is the Lord's Day. We get talk games, bunch of childhood friends from back in the day talking about the gaming topics. And then for those who like me for Xbox specific content, I'm on Defining Duke, and that's on Last Stand Media with Mr. Matty Plays. We record that every week on the Last Stand Media Patreon, as well as goes to free feeds on YouTube on the Last Stand Media, the Defining Duke playlist. And then come check us out on lordsofgaming.net. And we have a lot of independent writing, independent news outlet, news, opinion pieces, reviews, all that good stuff. And very fortunate to be Games Media with the work that's being done there. And yeah, man, just really appreciate this. This was a fun talk with some hardcore gaming, some real good gaming sensibilities, and I really appreciate that. And thank you for being patient because I know we've been taking a while to get this, but I felt it was worth it. First of all, wait was worth it.
It absolutely was. I really appreciate you being on and giving us your time. Wes, people want to follow you, sir. Where can they do so?
You can follow me on Instagram at Grendel5XBX.
I'm Matt. You guys can follow me on X or Twitter, whatever the hell they're going to call it next. At from NJ2CA. The 2 is a number 2. You can follow me over there. Make sure you guys follow our company. It's at Nerdthusiast on all social media platforms. Make sure you ring the bell, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. If you really want to help us out, support us over on Patreon, patreon.com/nerdthusiast. You can support us for as little as $1 a month, and it really does help us out quite a bit. If you don't have the finances or don't feel like financially helping us, just give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That also helps out quite a bit. Yeah, that's really about it. It's so awesome having Lord Cognito on. We had
Yes.
Dustin on from the
Nice.
PlayStation podcast last year, or about a year and a half ago. So
Mhm.
we're gonna see who gets that. Maybe we're gonna get Maddie next, and then
Woo!
that entire conversation about digital, we're gonna go down that rabbit hole because that's the person that's gonna go on the same level of us, Wes, which is losing their mind. So that
I
would be a
already
cool
know.
conversation to have.
Perfect candidate for that conversation.
I can't wait. I can't wait. But
Oh,
Cog,
yeah.
thank you for coming on, man.
Love.
It was great talking to you. You know, going down memory lane
Hell
and
yeah.
the golden days of the arcade, man.
Hell yeah.
It was fun.
These kids don't know, man. They don't know the joy, the wonder, the appreciation of what we experienced. I'll never take those years back. Those were amazing, man.
Yes.
Goosebumps just talking about that stuff and all the things we did to try to support gaming. You know, gaming wasn't. Last thing I'll say before I go is like people don't realize like our era kind of fought to make gaming relevant, and
Mhm.
it was either A, it's not going to go anywhere, it's a fad, it's going to die. B, we're going to ban it, no Mortal Kombat, we're going to get this stuff out of here and stuff like that. So it was a
See,
very
we were nerds. Like we were outcasts, and now it's popular than like ever.
Mhm.
Thank you. We
Yeah.
were the nerds where it wasn't cool. You got laughed at if you were in the gaming and this, that kind of stuff. And now you see, you know, the quote unquote cool kids now gravitating towards game. And now
Mhm.
it's one of the biggest entertainment mediums, almost surpassing movies and this stuff. So it's so far to see where this thing came from that we fought for. We went to the arcades, we picked up these consoles, we did all this stuff to further gaming. And now it's kind of at a spot where it's like, all right, you got to give us OG some credit. We paid the bricks for you guys. A lot of fun, guys. A lot of good stuff talking about this.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Until next time, y'all take care.
Have a good one, guys.